Tony. Bowls.
Oh,
Bowls?
golf
Bowls?
balls.
Bowls? I was
Puzzle
like, I
balls.
was saying,
Survival balls.
I've got
Craft
a
balls.
couple of categories. I was
Yep.
like, I got a couple of puzzle games.
This is the messy one.
I got a couple of um, survival crafting games, and then I was like, and then I've got these games. And I don't know where they go, and you were like, balls. They're in the ball category.
Balls. Yeah, they have balls in. Technically, there's another one from the
Mecha ball.
roguelike Survivor that could have been the
Go
balls.
mecha ball.
Yeah, but I think balls was loose already, so it's like, well, might as well. Like, I think
Oh, you don't want loose balls.
the stronger category wins. I think if you're trying to
Yeah.
choose which one it should go
Tony,
in.
it would not be a Steam Demo Festival without me playing a random golf game. It just would
I'm gonna
not.
be honest. It wouldn't be the same without it. But why is there every time there's a golf game? How is that possible? How many golf games do we need?
People love golf. I don't think we have enough golf, in my
We
opinion.
don't have enough.
Yeah.
That's a strong argument.
hmm
A
This
strong
is
opinion.
Art of Golf, and it is a golf game. I don't know it is just a very simple 2D golf game. I
A,
don't know.
a bleak on the waterfront golf game. Kind of reminds me of
Oh,
Dome
Dome?
Romantic.
Dorf Romantic?
No, Dome one, Dome Keeper.
Dome
Sort of
Keeper,
like
yeah.
in terms of like the bleakness and the
The
lack
lack of
of
detail?
yeah, detailless. It's an interesting style for a
Um,
golf game.
yeah, it is. I think there is other game modes. Like there's mini golf. There's like oh, sorry, not mini golf. Mini games.
Oh
Like
wait.
there's from the images I can see, there's like bowling. There's American football.
Oh okay.
There's
Okay.
hockey. There's archery. There does seem to be some like almost what the golf kind of stuff, like wacky stuff. But from the demo I played, it was just regular golf. I don't know. Unless there was something I missed, that's what it seemed like to be for me.
Are you bounded to the screen, or can you go like fling yourself right off the map?
No, if you go off the map, you die.
Oh, okay, okay.
That
That is actually
resets you.
interesting.
Apparently, there
Yeah, it's actually interesting.
was. I
You
think there
try
was other
stop
game
before.
modes in the demo. I just didn't check them out. So it seems like there is some
You
more interesting stuff. But I was like, it's,
you
it's
only
a
cared about golf.
well. It was just like there doesn't really seem to be a shot timer.
Right.
I'm not the biggest fan of shot timers anyway. I actually generally when I play stuff like golf with your friends, I just have unlimited shots on, and it's just like I don't
Yeah,
know. It's just
100%.
about just trying to make it to the end, just trying to be relaxing, I guess. And I guess
Yeah.
this is just a pretty relaxing golf game. It's just
I think
um,
having a relaxing mode, if you're gonna have that, like if you're gonna have other stuff as like, oh, you need to have a timer, there should be at least a relaxing mode where there isn't, or a limit, not a timer.
yeah. So then the minute you pull and drag, you can pull and drag anywhere because sometimes you might not have enough space to pull where the ball starts.
Yeah, which
And
makes sense. I like
if you
that.
when you're dragging, if you spin it around, it will add spin to your ball, and that is the mechanics of this game. It is a very simple golf game. It's not janky in any way. It's just pretty, relaxing and
Yeah.
simple. And there seems like there's tons of mini game stuff that I did not try out, so I cannot talk about it. But it looks like it could
But
be pretty fun.
but in terms of the golfing, then it's like the map itself isn't very other than like interesting shapes you're having to try and get around. There's not many mechanics
From
around trying to
the
get to
the maps I played, it was
the
just
flag.
like this.
Okay, interesting.
Um,
So there's more stuff to it, but we're just reviewing or
I'm reviewing
talking about
the 20.
the
It was
golf.
so it was called Journey, right? That I played, which is
Okay.
just this is Journey, and then there was stuff that was like tournaments, sport, and I was like, I don't want to play in a tournament, and I just closed the game. But if I kept going,
Okay.
there's like sports and like mini games and stuff like that, and you could actually play it in the demo. I assumed you wouldn't be
Right.
able to play it in the demo. I was like, oh,
Oh, the
okay.
dunes. I like the
You
dunes.
you're just gonna play it's just going to be like the journey. It's just going to be a couple of relaxing levels.
Yeah.
But you know what? This game seems pretty fun. I mean, it's not anything revolutionary, but it is just some relaxing 2D golf, and that's what I love. Just some relaxing golf.
That's what we're here for. Yeah. In balls.
Bowls. Speaking of bowls and golf games, let's talk about Path of the Dungeon. I actually think this one was really interesting. It is essentially like a casual, like mini golf puzzle game, I would say almost. It is. You need to get to the end of a golf flag and get in the hole, but you also need to kill all the enemies in the level. And then there's also like switches and buttons you have to interact with. So you're actually like a human golf ball, and you fling yourself through the level.
Oh, it's one of those, right? Yeah.
And
Okay.
you're going along to save your dog that gets rescued. You know, this game actually came out like literally after the demo festival ended. This came out.
Is that a dog?
Yeah,
It's
I picked the
barking,
one.
but it looks like a.
I picked the skin that looked like a sheep on purpose.
Oh, okay. Okay, I understand. It's a sheepdog. I get it.
Yep. So you
Half sheep, half
only
dog.
unlock the hole once you kill all the enemies. And it's pretty simple at first, and then it gets more interesting. You get the ability to shoot arrows, and arrows don't make you take a using an ability doesn't make you take a stroke. So it's
Okay.
quite. Usually, the only way you can kill enemies is by flinging yourself into them, which causes you to take a stroke. But you're trying to finish the levels with as few strokes as possible to get more crowns. And the main thing you do is unlock cosmetics.
Mm.
So it's mostly just like, oh, what's a fun way to reward the player? We'll just give them like some hats to get. So you don't need to, 100% perfect every level, but it is.
It's just a challenge for.
Yeah, it's a challenge if you want to.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good way. A good unlocking. Good incentive. I like the.
But I did find myself going
type
back
UI.
and sometimes restarting. It's like, oh, I know how to complete the level without, I need because you get the perfect crown, which is like the teal shiny crown when you perfect a level in the
So was this
least
a
amount of
mobile?
strokes.
Was this a mobile game or was
I
it
don't
a mobile?
know.
'Cause, like the UI is very mobile game. Is to me.
I don't know if this is a mobile game.
Doesn't make it a bad game. Obviously, just curious.
I've never seen it. I mean, it could easily be on like Android or iOS, right?
Well, just where the buttons are, like it makes it look like a touchscreen sort of thing to me.
Yeah, it reminds me of What the Golf in some ways. It's very like What the Golf wasn't a phone game, but they put it on Apple Arcade, and it was like having personally played
well.
What the Golf on my iPhone on Apple Arcade, it works really well. So this could be a situation where they just design a game that just happens to work really well on phones as well.
Yeah, it looks it does the UI looks good. So you're a pirate. Par.
Par for the dungeon. I can look now to see if it's on the Par for the Dungeon
No,
9
just...
Plus.
It looks cool though.
Yeah, it's coming to the App Store as well. So it seems like it is a mobile game as well. This could be a really cool game to play on your phone as well. It's pretty fun.
It actually looks. It doesn't have gacha stuff. Like it could actually be a good mobile game.
Gachigasm.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no gachagasm on
So
mobile.
The Steam version costs £4, and you just unlock things by playing. Looking at the iOS version that says designed for iPad, it says it's going to be free, but it'll have in-app purchases. So the mobile version will be that different model. But usually, when it comes to mobile games, people just won't buy mobile games.
Yeah.
Have you ever bought a mobile game?
No. Okay. I haven't, but I played a game where it had the two options, where it's like you had ads, an ad version, or you just bought it version, and I think
Yeah.
that's what I prefer. I appreciate that most people don't
Uh,
don't don't
the only
buy
mobile
them. But I
game
would
I've
like the
ever
option.
played is I bought Slay the Spire
Yeah,
iOS, and
yeah.
I still play it to this day. I was in the cinema watching trailers because my parents wanted to go to the cinema way too early, and I was like,
Right.
I have a lot of time to kill watching the same advert of what's his name? The guy from The Flash.
Oh, Ezra Miller?
Ezra Miller, yeah, in that new awful looking Flash movie. Or I can
Yeah.
watch an advert telling me to go out to the lobby and buy some Coca-Cola. And I'm just like, you know
Don't
what?
think of a snack. It really
You
helps
know
the
what?
cinema.
I can just sit here for half an hour and just play Slay the Spire instead on my
Yeah,
mobile phone. I should have bought the Steam
yeah.
Deck. I would have been Steam Decking away.
I just Yeah, I just feel like we are in a catch-22 problem. It's like, oh, people don't buy games on mobile. It's like, yeah, it's because people don't sell games to buy on mobile that are good. It's like there's no then. I know it's like, oh, but we put it out there, no one bought it. It's like, yeah, but there's like an
I think
expectation of what you think
I
of
think the
different
best
platforms.
compromise is the Apple Arcade approach. It is the
Yep.
okay, you just take these games that would be um, one-time purchases and you just bundle them together into a subscription, and then
Yeah.
you can have
Yeah.
high-quality mobile games where people don't feel like they have to spend a bunch of money to get them all.
Yeah. I still like the idea of like you have the game with
Oh,
ad
there's one
supported
complaint
version and
about
then
this
a board
game.
game.
I couldn't figure out how to cancel a shot. I would love them
Oh.
to have the ability to cancel a shot, because a lot of time we went, oh, no, this shot's not good, and I was still holding down the button.
Yeah. Okay.
There didn't seem to be a way to not shoot the shot, which is kind of annoying.
You should always want to cancel shots. I agree.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go, oh, that was completely not what I wanted. I just want to start again. So assuming once you get like the direction in, like you're then doing power and you're locked into the direction, right?
Yeah, I'll show you some later levels. You get like bomb mechanics in later levels, so you can buy bombs for coins. Because you want to collect coins, because coins let you buy like arrows and bombs, which help you complete the level in shorter strokes. So there is
Right.
like an interesting mechanic where you are trying to get to the hole as quickly as possible, but you also want to pick up those coins along the way in order to help you do that with the least strokes amount as possible. So it is kind of this mix of golf and puzzle game, I would say, which I quite
Yeah.
like. I think it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I like that. I like that. That's kind of what I want from a golf game.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
recommend
like
this one.
the aesthetic. I like
And
the idea.
it is out now on Steam. I think it's £4, and then there's
Yeah,
going to be a
it's pretty
free
cheap.
version coming to iOS with ads, I guess,
I would,
or whatever.
I would spend that much money. Maybe, well, no, yeah, I spend about that much money on a mobile game as well. So maybe
Here
we
I
should
wanted to
consider
cancel my
making
shot. I could not. I had to commit to it.
yeah.
Let's move on to the next
Cancel
ball.
shop. Consider
game.
a bought version on mobile, please. Thank you.
Tony, you remember we talked about Realms Deep? There was a Duke Nukem Forever
Yes.
pinball table, and I was like,
yes, I do remember.
why the
So,
fuck?
like-
I was like, why the fuck is this a thing? And then I was looking at the Steam Demo Festival, and I saw there was a demo for that game, Pinball M, which is coming
Okay.
out at some point. And I was like, wait a minute, can I play the demo for Duke Nukem Pinball? And the answer is yes, so I played it.
So what's this horror themed board? Or
They have a lot of horror-themed boards as well. It's called Pinball M because it's a horror-inspired pinball platform, but then they also have
Right.
Duke Nukem for some reason.
yeah.
I don't.
mean, I'm pro pinball.
But
so.
I played a couple of boards. So I played this one, which is sort of like this Eldritch horror one, which is Wrath of the Elder Gods. I haven't played that game. I think almost all of them are like licensed games.
Yeah.
So I played
Which
two
makes
of the
sense.
games. I played Duke Nukem.
Oh, the sound effects are so
Did
good.
it? The sound effects were. I was like so taken back by nostalgia.
That's why I
for
just love
this.
pinballs. It's like
Also, by the way,
I quite
Tony,
like pinball.
you said you couldn't notice it, but that pinball is actually ray traced.
Yeah, so normally they're just cube maps, or it's just like a pretend cube map. But now we're at the point where we actually ray trace the ball. I cannot tell the difference on the. Maybe
You're
you. I
watching a
don't know.
720p 30
Yeah,
FPS Discord
yeah.
stream.
I would like to see it in real life. I mean, I can download the demo.
I can
but
I can see the ray tracing on the ball from my local recording,
Okay.
but that's a 1440p recording.
But could you
I'm
tell the
looking at.
difference if it was just a cube map while you're playing? Is my question.
The light, I think with the lighting, yeah, I think I could tell.
Okay.
Or you can
I mean,
switch your
small ray tracing.
you can switch your position so you can see what's going on, like at different points of the board. I gotta say, I thought this was cool, but I also still hold the opinion that I don't like pinball.
Yeah,
I just
I
wanted,
like pinball personally.
I just wanted to check it out, but I'm like, I'm kind of just, hitting a ball around infinitely.
I like the ones I like, and I know even in this case it's still endless, but I like the ones where it's like you have to get like
this one let you demo boards. I guess you can unlock new boards, and this one was like, oh, you can demo a board, and we'll give you a certain amount of time to try and get as much score as possible.
But I like the ones where it's not. These are still okay. The ones I like where it's still score based technically, but I like the goal of like there's like letters you have to hit. So you have to get all the letters without losing all of your lives. And there's like, oh,
the thing I'd say about this game is like thematically, this game looks gorgeous. Like they nailed the pinball tables, like as an artistic thing.
This is what I want from pinball. Yeah.
But I just don't like pinball. I think that's all I have to really say. I'll
fair.
show another game I'm a big fan of. They did Dead by Daylight tables.
Oh, nice.
And they were like, select your survivor at the beginning, and I could not for the life of me figure out how to change survivor.
Okay.
I was trying to click on it. I think maybe you're supposed to use the flippers.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe.
It had kind of a weird control scheme, but maybe that's a normal control scheme for pinball games. It's like left shift to use the left flipper, then right shift for the right flipper.
Oh yeah. That's perfect. That's what you want.
That was kind of confusing at
like,
first.
There should be options for like using A and D or something.
I don't know. Maybe it's better to play these kind of games with a controller and you just use like the triggers as the flippers might be easier.
I'm pro emulating actual like arcade pinball where it's like you're like using both hands like as if you're like on either side of the machine. That's kind of where I'm at. That's why it's like.
Do you think people have like gamepads that are like the size of a pinball table and they play as if they're on a real pinball table?
They get the I can't remember what's it called, like the Xbox like accessibility controller things. Like they like customize that to be like an arcade. There must be people.
Well, have you seen fighter game players like pads? Have you seen like they're called like fight boxes or something, where they have these giant like slabs of wood or plastic and they have like specific buttons on them?
Yeah, that for pinball. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Okay. Maybe you know more than me. Is it frowned upon to lean on the table in pinball?
Okay, what do you mean by leaning? Like, are you leaning like to get an advantage, or just you're leaning?
Leaning to get an advantage. Like if you like, if you're kind of like lifting up the table to move the ball, would that be considered faux pas in the pinball community?
Well, no. There's a whole leaning thing. Okay, leaning is like the arcade owner doesn't want it, obviously, but there is a whole thing of like of a leaning mechanic. Like the Windows pinball that got ported to Windows has a leaning mechanic, which I never get the hang of. I don't like leaning, but I don't think I'm against it. It's like an extra.
It's sort of like,
Oh, you've got gas. Wait, you've got a. No, it's not.
It's like masturbating on an airplane. It's not illegal. It's just frowned upon. It's just frowned upon.
No. It's like trying to get a ticket. Okay. Here's my analogy.
Right.
Have you ever? Okay.
By the way, there's mechanics in these boards. I have no fucking idea what's going on of any of the boards I played. What you were
It's
asking?
have you ever like gone to park? I know you didn't drive like your parents then. Like you gone to like park a paid parking thing, but then someone approaches you and go, "We've paid for this. There's still
But
time
we've
left.
still
Do
got
you want
time.
it?"
Yeah, I've had that happen
Yes.
before.
To
Yeah.
me, it's like that. If you ask the people running the car, they're like, "We don't want you to do that. That's illegal. We want it to be like tied to a specific car." But it's like,
Right.
yeah, but you're getting free time. You're using up the time. It's kind of like that to me.
I'm learning so
But
much
sometimes though,
about the ball community.
I think there's like I think it's like what like just style like because like some games have it, some games don't. They like make it software
Right.
based. So leaning is like a huge thing to some people, not to others. I think. To me, I don't care about leaning. I don't like using leaning. I can't think about leaning. Like I don't like leaning, but I could see it as people liking it a lot.
Well, if you're into pinball and you're into Dead by Daylight and Duke Nukem like me, have I got the game
I like
for
the
you?
Eldritch one.
Pinball M. Oh, we're off balls now. We're on to puzzle.
Okay.
We're on to artificial. I got this one. This was announced at Realms Deep, and immediately it was like, "Hey, this is inspired by Portal and Half Life," and I was like, "Okay, I'll check it out." And immediately I saw like polygon Unity looking ammo box and a crowbar, and I was like, "Okay, they're not so subtle with their Half Life Easter egg there." But
Right.
I tried this and I wasn't a big fan. It's sort of like a very slow paced puzzle game. You sort of like slowly walk around looking for boxes, or you can, at least in the beginning, you're not really doing anything. And I guess because when I started up a game, there was like scan lines on the screen like there is now. There was like dirt on the screen. There was like chromatic aberration, which I still have on. Um, yeah, it was very much just like trying to look like this aesthetically dirty, rundown robot thing.
Yeah.
Um, which I think it looks fine, but it's sort of like
I quite like
I
the
almost feel like
aesthetic.
it's trying to cover up these just blocky, simple polygon default
Yeah,
Unity
yeah, yeah.
looking
They've
stuff,
got simple models and they're trying to.
which I
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
think it works thematically for me personally.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the art style, and then
Okay.
yeah, they
And it's a
do this.
puzzle,
Yeah, but not really.
right?
The puzzles usually walk around until you find what you're supposed to be doing, and then click on something from the beginning at least,
Right. It's
or
like find
like,
key, go
oh,
to
you
door.
need to make this beam match up with this other beam. Slowly drag this thing out of the way so it can see the other
Right.
beam. It was like, I don't know. I think maybe the start's just way too fucking slow, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I didn't
I could.
enjoy
It looks a
this
bit
at
slow.
all.
I think for me aesthetically it looks good, but yeah, what you're
Like
describing is
the
like yeah,
character is
it's a
super
bit
fucking
too.
slow.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, and it everything feels sluggish and not in a good way.
And the
Um,
puzzles don't seem like very interesting.
no, I
The
kind of
payoff
gave up on.
isn't.
I played this for like 12 minutes. I feel like I gave up on it quicker, but oh, here we go. That was the crowbar and the ammo crate I was talking about. When I was like, okay,
Right. Right.
I see you've played Half Life before.
Be fair, you do use crowbars on crates, so maybe they just
Crowbars on crates
they
with a
open.
Half Life symbol on them.
Well, they just pack a lot of nuclear stuff. Maybe that's just
Yeah.
their
So I was like, it was
where
like,
they
go
come
over this
from.
fence, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to get over this fence. And then it was like, because I kept trying to jump up there, and it's like,
Oh,
no, you can't.
yeah,
And it looks like there's almost an invisible wall to jump up there, right? And
yeah.
then I dragged something over there, and then I I was able to jump up over there, but it was like super janky and not obvious. It was like
Yeah.
that's like a lot of this game is like janky and it's not really obvious what you're supposed to be doing. It's sort of like you're just slowly moving around this area, dragging random props around.
I think,
I don't know.
yeah, because I think that problem is like, oh, like because like it's only just out of reach. I think you're gonna make something out of reach, really make it obvious it's out of reach. Don't make it just out of reach. That's
Because
That's
I thought
not.
you could jump up into
Don't
those
do
metal
that.
bars over there. I was
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
It
you should
looks
be able
like
to,
it.
but you can't. You're supposed to go up into
No.
the other area. I was like,
Yeah. That
oh, okay.
even if like you do it once, you're like, oh, it's obvious I can't do it. It's just frustrating. Just make it really obvious. Like, oh, it's like make it like 3 times the height. You definitely can't do it.
Speaking
That'd
of
be, I think, better.
speaking of slow, boring puzzle games, Frog done it.
Okay.
Frog on it.
Frog on it.
I, yeah, I saw this. I was like, oh, the art style looks kind of interesting, but it is essentially a game where you have to walk around looking for things. You go to a character. It's like go here, and then a character goes, oh, I need these ingredients to make some lunch, so I can give it to this guy to get into the museum for some reason. And then you walk around slowly, picking up ingredients, and then you take them to a person. It's like, I don't know, maybe the slowness is like relaxing to people, but I just found it so fucking tedious. There was nothing interesting about it. It was just sort of like walking around slowly to get to another location for some reason. Is the best way I could describe this game.
Yeah, these like both these games like have in different styles, but like have like point and click holdovers or sensibilities, but in like not quite getting like good point and click mechanics, I suppose, or puzzles, because like obviously like point and click is like very puzzle based. So it's kind of just like walking around finding stuff puzzles.
Yeah. I mean, there was one puzzle game that was really high rated that I didn't play, which was that they did a demo for the Talos Principle 2.
Oh,
I haven't played the Talos Principle 1, and I didn't want to spoil it in case there was anything about the Talos Principle 1 in that, because I'm actually very excited to play the Talos Principle, but I just haven't got around I've heard it's like really good, like it's Portal level puzzle design, and that makes me very excited to play something. And when you claim to have Portal level puzzle design like artificial, it's like, okay, you better deliver. But it's like when other people say that it has like Portal level design, then that's when you something special, right?
Yeah. I think it's a bit different Talos Principle, but I think in terms of I think it's more puzzle than movement. But yeah, I think in terms of
I didn't
complexity,
enjoy.
it's more Portal.
I did not enjoy Frog on it. I found it kind of pointless.
FROGGONIT.
Oh, Tony, I was showing you this. I said, Tony, there was this game I played that was like Satisfactory at Home, and you said, what was that game? And I showed you, and you're like, oh, it's this game, Foundry.
Yeah, but now I see. I couldn't remember the name, but I've seen this before.
It feels very much and plays very much like if you've played Satisfactory, you will be like, oh, it's Satisfactory. Like there is some slight differences. So I'd say the biggest differences would be in Satisfactory, you kind of, what I do at least, and in Minecraft as well, is I kind of build my factory wherever.
Yeah.
I build my factory.
And then you kind of change and shift it later.
Yeah. Or you do what some people like, you probably do, where you build like a temporary base, and then you get a bunch of concrete, and then you plan out a big one, and you move stuff over. Yeah. What I do is I build a jank temporary setup, and then I never move to the big structured base, and I just keep living in the spaghetti jank.
Yeah, you keep adding to the small one,
and I like purposely put in loops because I think they look cool. That like pointless loops into conveyor belts for no reason.
Yeah.
Which I find very funny.
I'm
always like, oh, I'm building a base in the middle of a fucking mountain, but there's this really cool rock formation. Maybe I should make a conveyor belt that goes up here for no reason.
Yeah, I'm all for that, as long as it doesn't massively hit the efficiency too much, I suppose. Have you ever considered adding loops that do literally nothing next to loops that are efficient, so it makes it look good?
So on to the survival crafting part. We've got 2 survival crafting games to end off the next fest. But yeah, it one of the big differences was in Satisfactory, you build like these biofuel generators, and then you connect everything up to get power with wires. In this game, it's very much Foundry, like foundation based. So when you place a generator on a foundation, it powers everything on that foundation in range. So you're very much forced to build foundation bases for a lot of it.
Okay, interesting.
So that's one of the big differences is if you want to build a jank base, you kind of can't. You have to build on foundations, which I didn't like. Also, the conveyor belts are different where they are not like very point and click, very easy to put down like Satisfactory. They are unsatisfactory. But you have to build them like one block at a time, and then you have to build you have to build specifically a ramp conveyor belt, and then you have to specifically build a flat conveyor belt. There's not just like the one click connect sort of thing with the Satisfactory way, which is very much satisfactory.
Like Minecraft, where you have to like get the specific block and place it.
Well, everything is based on blocks in this game, so
but I was gonna say, I know you've not been following Minecraft. There's been a lot of talk, not for automation, but for building good-looking things, or like buildings in general. Like as like you're building, like you're designing a building in Minecraft. There's been a lot of there's a lot of blocks for decoration only. Can we have like maybe a UI or like an inventory overhaul to make building stuff
like I can't say I didn't enjoy this game. This is what
Satisfactory did.
I can't say I didn't enjoy this game because I played it for like 40 minutes just trying to build a small little factory. Like, the reason I stopped playing because it was getting late. I was like, I'll go to bed and maybe I'll load it up again. I didn't end up loading it up again, but I was playing other demos and I was like, oh, it was pretty fun for what it was. I mean, I don't know, man. It with this, it's like
automation, but with Minecraft block placing.
Every time playing this makes me want to play Satisfactory more, which I think maybe is a bad thing. Because
I want to say Satisfactory has put a huge amount of effort to make crafting big automated stuff fun and simple. Like that is its like whole thing. I used to look at this and go, I wonder how it feels for me. Like I still want to play this myself and see. It doesn't look bad at all.
Donny, there's a demo you can download right now.
This UI is definitely based upon this color scheme and placement.
There's a demo on Steam that you can play right now.
Yep.
And it's being published by your favorite publishers, Paradox.
Yep.
Log in. I don't know. I'll show you like some of the later. So you have to build these foundations, and then you can make conveyor belts come into anywhere, which is nice. You don't have to have a specific in and out port, but you need to specifically build these loader items that then load things in and out of buildings. So it's less.
More
orientation matters less, but you require more.
It's more.
You have to build more stuff to set it up.
Yeah. I quite like that concept. I still think your criticism is correct, but it should be easy to set up. But I kind of like the idea of being able to have more.
I like the idea of hey, if you want to build a base, you can have it power everything on this platform, like a giant Qi charging pad,
I like that.
But I think maybe that should be an option, and maybe you dare to put wires in the game and let me live in the caves in the mountains and jank it out.
I think having janky wires would be
one of my favorite things in Satisfactory is building conveyor belts, and building conveyor belts in this game does not feel great. It's not as seamless as it is in and I don't know. Maybe if I got some basic automation going, but maybe when you get a bigger factory going, it's gonna feel a lot better to go.
Yeah.
I like that they cut out some of the you just have a drill to get materials, and then you also drill the trees and stuff. They've cut out having to unlock the chainsaw and chainsawing down trees like in Satisfactory. It's just you have a drill and you use the drill. Here's a base, and it crafts 2 things for you that you need to get started, and then you can start automating from there. In Satisfactory, you have a drill you put on top of the thing and then you power it. In this, you have a hub that summons drones that come out and mine things and brings it back to the hub. Is how they
So
do the
immediate
mine.
automation. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
but they have to be in
It
range of
reminds
a
me of
node, and they have to be in range of a power thing on a foundry, on like a
yeah.
foundation piece.
I think this game is in early access. I do think they need to as you say like ad
Well,
wise. I think that would add a
it's
lot.
going to launch into early access. It's not out yet, right?
Yes. No, yeah, yeah, it's going to launch into early access. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think it only. Yeah, I think it.
These are how the conveyor
Yeah, yeah,
belts
it's not out
work.
yet. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's so like it's not even out yet. So in early access yet. So
So this is
who
you
knows
have to
what will be
build
added later.
individual conveyor
Yeah,
belt pieces, and then you have to individually build slopes or flats.
it'd be nice if you could
Um,
just drag it out and then, or maybe
yeah.
like even like plan, like have like a planner
With
where
the
like you could like
with
you freely drag it out.
so with the foundation pieces, you can like drag them out in a grid, and like I want to put this many blocks down here.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So they have done that for that, which is nice, but it's not that way with the conveyor belts from what I know. I mean, I was never able to build that many conveyor belt pieces. Maybe
Hmm.
you can just build tons of them later on. But
Well,
the cool thing about
maybe you should be able
Satisfactory
to.
is, again, conveyor belts don't require power, which I always think is probably the smartest move that Satisfactory ever did to make them just feel, not tedious.
Yeah,
And I feel like there is some stuff that could potentially be improved, but if that's how they want the game to work and they want to distinguish themselves, then sure, that's how the game works.
yeah. I think there's a big
It's like,
thing
hey, I want to
with
build a conveyor belt here, and it's like, nope, you have to build it on a
yeah.
foundation
I
block
I think there's
on
always
these
a
building
fundamental
blocks.
trade-off with management games. There's stuff you can do to like still like I don't think your prism's entirely like with this, but like it's always like, is it customizable or like detailed orientated, or is it like easy to build out? And I think Satisfactory is definitely the game like that you're looking for here. Whereas that they looked at this and went, we like Satisfactory, but and Minecraft, but want to add our own detail to it. And with that, you're always gonna
Yeah,
be limited. But I still think you should be able to add more stuff. I think there's stuff you can definitely do to make it easier to build out. I think because I'm just thinking like, why can't you in Prison Architect like you can like you don't need all the money to be able to build stuff out like or technically you have the money to buy materials in to build it out. Why can't you plan it and then like so you have infinite planning materials and then you then commit certain sections? I think that'd be a lot more satisfying.
yeah. I mean, you do all the
I'm
crafting in your inventory in this game, and you can just click dump things into machines, which is nice.
Yeah, but you need the materials to be able to like plan out like this the routes. Like, so you can't go, oh, I want to do this, and then oh, I've run out of materials. I can't then keep going with it. Which
Yeah,
I think a lot of games, and I think Satisfactory is also one of these games, but it needs better planning mechanics.
right.
I think. I think more games need more planning, like Prison Architect. I think Prison
There's some
Architect like
stuff in
nailed it on the head.
Satisfactory I feel like is purposely janky there. Like you look at the coupon system, which you use to buy
Yeah, 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 yeah.
upgrades
That's
and
that's
then cosmetics, or
deliberately.
you look
Yes.
at how janky the company car is. It's like the little three-wheeler that always falls over when you drive it.
Um, yeah, I think more needs to be added to that. But yeah, I think it is maybe janky on purpose. But I still think that in Satisfactory that needs to be
Mm.
improved. I think you can be jank. It can be janky and still useful. Is what I would say with that. But no, I look at what you're doing here. And I want to. I still want to play it myself. It looks like a mix between Satisfactory and some certain Minecraft mods. I think the world needs more. The world looks fine, but I think there needs to be more to it in terms of features. I want to say. But yeah,
Yeah,
I look at this and go, I want to play this. Oh, and I can. This demo
literally
still up.
can. Literally
So
can. Yeah, just getting my head around the conveyor belts took ages playing this demo.
yeah,
But yeah,
they've definitely been inspired by Satisfactory though.
yeah. I mean, I did play it for like 40 minutes. There is something to this demo, but I think there's a few small things they could improve on, I think.
Yeah, yeah. But again, it's coming out into early access, so hopefully it'll improve.
And final survival crafting game, we have Outpath, which is an experimental clicker base building game. So the game this reminds me of the most is a game called I just had it in my mind and I've forgotten it. Forager. Do you remember? Have you seen Forager?
Yes,
It is
I
very
do
much
remember. This
just
is the 3D forager instead of
sort
isometric.
of. I mean, Forager has more like idling stuff, but I would say this has more active stuff. I don't think there's that much idling stuff from what I experienced playing. I played the demo for 25 minutes, but it has that sort of energy of you're on almost, I would say, like a skyblock from
Yeah,
Minecraft mods.
yeah.
Um,
But it's an endless ocean
you
instead.
start out on this very small block, and then you basically, as you get more resources, you can pay to expand it, which gives you access to new biomes, which happens in Forage as well. And then,
What do you pay with? Do like you craft currency, or do you?
you
Or
get
different biome blocks have different.
you
things
have
you could pay for?
technology points. You see that in the top left.
Yeah.
I think when you build stuff, that gives you. I don't 100% know how it works, but you basically. It didn't really explain the currency stuff to me, but building stuff gives you or collecting resources gives you these points, and then you can use that to spend on expanding or whatever. I guess it's technology points because you're gathering resources and you're learning more. Maybe I don't know how it's supposed to work, but
Yeah,
that's how it seems to work.
It's points being prizes.
Yeah. Did find I was really stone starved in the initial biome, but it got a bit better when I bought the sand biome. Like a lot of stuff just needs stone, and you don't get a lot of stone in the beginning. Also, stuff spawning in your face is kind of weird. I think the 3D art style is cool. I think this game looks really good. And again, so every time I'm mining there, I'm actually manually clicking. But at the start of the game, it says, "Hey, if you want, you can have it." There's a later game upgrade that lets it so you don't have to manually click. But if you want, we can turn that on in the beginning. If you as an accessibility thing, or as if you want to, save your wrists or whatever,
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. Yeah. I do feel like, I think Forager. I know it's a little bit different, where it's like a little bit idling, or a lot idling.
You definitely. It's definitely like you buy giant plots of land, which is very similar to this idea where you're trying to expand out.
What I was gonna say is I feel like obviously Minecraft has this skyblock or even endless ocean mechanic. I think to me Forager added a lot to this mechanic because I'm kind of fed up with skyblock mechanics. I think I want something new. I still like the idea, but there's a lot of downtime and boring bits to it. To me, I looked at Forager and went, "Oh, that actually adds something that I kind of want to interact with. That as its own way to fix the problem." I'm currently looking at this and going, "This is still too skyblocky."
Right. Yeah. I did get to a point where I was like, "Okay, I kind of get it. I'm kind of done with it. Maybe I'll come back at some other point." But yeah, Forager is really interesting because there's full-on Zelda dungeons in it at certain points and stuff like that. There's a lot of I don't know how much this expands or how much it's just a simple survival crafting, but it got.
And how did you get new lands in Forager? Didn't you have to pay
you
with
buy
certain
plots
materials?
of land.
Yeah, okay, you just bought it.
Imagine the hexagon system from Civ where you just buy new hexes.
Yeah, but how did you get those different biome lands you could get? Wasn't there?
You have it's like a square grid around you, and I think you build banks or something that generate gold, and then you spend gold to buy a new piece of land, and then that unlocks another, and then you can once you buy enough land, you can unlock a new biome.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I quite like that. I never finished Forager, but I did. I think I got 14 hours in the game. I did enjoy my time with it, but I can't remember why I stopped playing. I think I got stuck at some point or something.
In Minecraft mods, there's a big issue in my opinion with interacting with biomes and exploration with biomes in Minecraft in general, and Skyblock just like doesn't have that. Like Trevor just like plops itself down in an infinite void, so it's like there's not really a biome stuff. So like
I
once something
like
comes around
Skyblock
with like,
stuff.
oh, we'll add new biomes in a different way. I think that's a much cooler idea. So I guess we'll have to see how this game does it, because you're saying you didn't really know how the different biomes worked.
It seems like they gave you like you get sand and stuff and more.
Okay.
There was an information book I got, which I was like, okay. It's kind of hands. I mean, there is like a tutorial-ish thing where it's like craft a bench. You probably want to get this, but it's very much hands-off, I would say.
Yeah.
It kind of just lets you explore, which I guess a lot of people like. It is very much like meant to be like more relaxing. There's no like time pressure or anything to it. It's just you want to just keep expanding and exploring and researching.
It looks like it looks like you're just like.
I mean, I
through the
played
game
this and I was
mechanics,
like,
you're
oh, this
exploring
kind of reminds me of Forager in 3D, and I go to the store page and it says Forager in 3D on the actual page. Because apparently this game also came out directly after the demo festival finished, so it's out now and it seems very
it's out.
positively reviewed. So
It came out 2 days after we recorded this, which is you can work out the reverse of that if you figure out when it came out when we recorded this. So. Out now.
oh, somebody says
And it's not
somebody says
access.
it's good to play my deck on the deck, Steam Deck. It's like Titanfall movement with Forager, pretty fresh. Yeah, the movement thing was weird. You can kind of like climb up the side of walls.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's never really explained or gone into that deep though. But yeah, it's pretty fun and relaxing. I'm excited to see more of this game, if it like expands into something bigger or they do some updates later down the line. But yeah, pretty cool game, and yeah, that's the end of Tangerine. So if you are interested in seeing my favorite games with a brief synopsis of what the game's about with some gameplay footage, we will be doing a quick video to show off my favorite games, and then if you want to know more about them, you can check out the individual Tangerine videos to check them out. I think the Demo Fest was pretty good this year, or this fall, I guess, because they do multiple ones a year. This should be the last one of the year, as it's the fall fest. I don't think they have a winter one. I don't remember there being a winter Demo Fest. Yeah, good VR demos. I was able to play them. I didn't play I think I played maybe slightly less than I normally play, but I also gave up on bad ones a lot quicker, which I think was a very good move.
We still played 25 demos in total, didn't you?
Yeah.
So
but normally I'll play like 30 or 40 goddamn demos.
Right. Okay.
But I'm just like quality over quantity, I think, is where I'm going to try and go with. Or at least, if not quality, if not, yeah, just
maybe I don't know. Maybe in the future,
play more by dropping the ones I don't jive with immediately.
Play a lot more, but scrap a lot more.
But yeah, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Fuck you, chicken.